I'm going to teach you with my partner Rhonda how to learn a framework to learn a new supplement, to sell the new supplement, and also to then turn around and teach other people how to do that. So I'm super excited that you joined us. My name is Aimée Darling, and I get to introduce you today to Rhonda. And so Rhonda is going to be co-teaching this with me today, asking some questions. And Rhonda, if you want to take a quick second, introduce yourself. We're going to jump right in.
Hey guys, so my name is Rhonda Etnire and I've been with Plexus for about 8 months. Absolutely adore Aimée, love being on her team. I've learned a ton. Super excited to be with you here today and help you learn more about Immune Plus.
Exactly. We're going to talk about Immune Plus. So I welcome you, my friend. I learned so much from you. We have so many beautiful behind the scenes back and forth, and I learn a lot. So Immune Plus is the product we're going to talk about today. I want to point out that you can do this framework with any product. You can walk into a market and pick up a product and do this the same way. So Rhonda and I were chatting earlier that where does this come from? So much of this knowledge, it does not come from just my 15 plus years in the nutrition industry. Rhonda and I were talking about just the decades of experience that she has in sales for the high-end grocery chain that she's part of. That leadership and that information, it can come from any place. The key to a supplement is honestly be a listener. That's the key. That's the key to sales. And so Rhonda and I collectively, we figured out, I think, are we close to over 50 years of knowledge? And so it's a lot of years from a lot of sales and a lot of avenues. And so what I want you to do is grab a piece of paper and write out the framework. And I'm going to give you 3 things that we focus on. One is, how do you be the student? What are you looking for when a product launches? Where are you gathering your resources from? Number 2, how do you then take that student and then turn it into teacher? And I'm going to give you some specific examples. We're going to talk about Immune Plus. And the third way is, how do you move into mentorship? So mentorship means you've mastered being that student, being that teacher, and now you're teaching your team or other people in your space, in the health and wellness space, how to then do the same thing. Okay, so those 3 things being said, I want to remind you that supplements are not part of the FDA. They're not FDA approved. Supplements aren't anywhere. It's important that you don't claim health claims. And there's actually a whole section for every supplement company that I've ever seen, every high-end supplement company I've ever seen, and the one we're part of, is that there's disclaimer information. Like, you can't claim that this will heal or mitigate healing or any of those things. So please start getting that languaging out of your language. We can support wellness, okay? So write that down. We're supporting wellness. Plexus supplements, they are a key component in the overall picture of your health. I like to think of it like Tetris. Those little blocks come down in that video game and they're building blocks, right? Exercise and sleep and connection and just rest, food, water. Those are building blocks. Well, so are supplements, okay? So first thing we do is we look at, I've got this new supplement. It's launching. Now, Rhonda, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't like to be the first ant to the picnic.
I know. It's like being a guinea pig, right?
No.
So yeah, who wants to be the first one to try that out? What if it doesn't work? So how do you know? How do you know if it's right for you?
How do you know? And why are you going to start talking about it like you know everything before it's actually launched? I'm not a fan of that. I don't like to just put out a video super quick. Now, here's where I would say the key to moving quickly is keeping a list going of people that want to know what's new and hot. You're one of them. You have access to the product and you have access to getting it wholesale. So how do you, you don't know. It could take a year to have changes happen. So how do you make sure that as the student, you're also still bringing people in? So I'm going to drop a lot of sales nuggets in here and Rhonda's going to throw in some more. But part of what Rhonda and I were talking about is, as a student, you want to first off, keep the list of people that are always kind of those people that'll try things. I've got people, right? Some friends and family, and they're like, hey, let me know when there's new things. So for me, I'm gonna not just watch what the new product is. I see the new product being launched, whatever it is, in this case, Immune Plus. I'm going to automatically, and I'm going to share my screen, I'm going to automatically go over to the virtual office that everybody has, and I'm going to go to the Nutrition and Wellness Toolkit. And this is going to be my first stop, probably my second stop. I probably ordered it immediately because I need to taste it and I need to see it. And even if it's not for me, it's going to be for somebody else I know. And part of my job as a person that sells, teaches, and mentors people on supplements and how to sell them is you always get at least one, even if it's somebody else in your family, right? Maybe you can't take something, and that's okay. But go to the Nutrition and Wellness Toolkit. And here's what I'm looking for as a student. I've already, number one, ordered the product or purchased it, right? It's no different than being in a market and you see something new and you think, this is a new ice cream flavor. I'll try it. Right, Rhonda?
Yep.
Okay, same. So in the Nutrition and Wellness Toolkit, just to toss this back over to Rhonda, where are you going to start looking first?
I would probably look at the information sheet first, just so I can find out what's in it. What is this about?
Okay. So what are the basic things you're looking for, Rhonda, when you are just having purchased, thinking about yourself, maybe the higher skill set of sales, which is starting to think about others, but maybe you're just thinking about you. What are you looking for in this new product?
I'm going to look at ingredients first, and then I want to know what it does. How is it going to support my health?
Yeah, product claims. Yep. So what that looks like, if for those of you that don't know, what that is you're distilling down the information. No part of you just heard Rhonda say, I want to learn all the ingredients. I want to learn all the information. No, she's just looking. It's like looking at that ice cream and saying, oh, I like chocolate. Oh, I don't like chocolate. Oh, I don't eat dairy. Oh, I do eat dairy, right? You're just looking for indicators that will allow you to make the decision of, is this for me? Okay, so moving on from that, you can see that every single product we carry will have information, even if it's not in the toolkit yet. And your job as a student is to, number one, order the product. Number two, go look at what the company has already put out about the product so that you can get, what I like to look for is it for me? And then I always look at number two because I'm always thinking in terms of, who do I know that needs this? I have a list that I'm keeping. And sometimes people will even say to me, if you ever launch blah, blah, blah. When the vegan protein came out, I had a list of people. Now, I helped with that product line, and I helped do so much of that. But nobody knew that. I had a list of people that said, hey, if you ever launch a vegan protein, let me know. And like 2 years later, I pulled that list back out. So let's go back to this toolkit. This toolkit is a beautiful opportunity for you to grab some basic information. Okay, basic. Now, if I'm looking to see, if I go back to Immune Plus, the challenge that I see people running into is we think everybody's got an immune system, so this is great for everybody. Well, yes and no. I go back and I look at this product and I say, what are some of the key things it tells me it's going to do? Oh, support immune health. Well, I need that. Okay, good thing I ordered it. My whole family needs that. Okay, good thing I ordered it. Right? Rhonda, is that what you're thinking?
Yep.
Yeah. And then as you also are looking at how do I talk about it? Okay. So Rhonda, this is where I would go back to you again and say, okay, you've gotten some basic info about the product. You don't know everything, you're not supposed to. And you've got basic ideas of what is in it. So when people say, well, I don't know, that sounds good, what's in it? Well, we've got basic info. We can say, oh, that's there's mushrooms in there. Okay, there's whole food in there. Oh my gosh, there's turmeric in there, right? Pull some of the words that you've seen in your world where you're thinking, oh, those are good. Mm-hmm. Okay, and you can just say, I don't know yet. It looked really good for what I want to do. So Rhonda, when you are thinking, it's 100% okay to say, I'm not 100% yet. You're not supposed to be. You're not a scientist, okay? Neither am I. I don't even come to the table like that. And I am mad good at sales, right? So Rhonda, as another person that is mad good at sales, what is it that you then take that, okay, I ordered it, looks good for me, I should tell a friend. What information do you pull off of this and then communicate it forward?
Well, I think, like you said, pulling a couple of ingredients out there and at least doing a little bit of research to find out what those 2 key ingredients do for you and be able to say, this is how it supports your immune system. I'm trying it. Try it with me, right? So everybody needs immune support. That's really what I'm going with right now, is there's not a person on this planet who doesn't have an immune system who couldn't do with having a little bit of support, right? It's not going to hurt you. So, just really pulling those things out of there and talking about what the benefit is going to be to your overall wellness if you just try it. And, and then saying, I'm going to wait and see, haven't gotten sick yet.
Which brings me, Rhonda, to the do's and don'ts, right? I know our heart wants to just go out there and tell the whole world that this is the key. I want to remind everybody that there's do's and don'ts. We can't make certain claims about any product. The children's products, the immune product, the triplex products, we just can't make claims because that's just not our advertisement space. And so here's what I would say, piggybacking off of what Rhonda just said, notice how she's doing 2 things. She's gathering information from the source, right? Going back to the Plexus website, looking at what this product is, any of our products you can do this with. And then you can then go back and say, well, gosh, who in my space, who on my social media, who in my immediate family, who is it that I know they're looking for something like this? Maybe it's people that are working in the public. Maybe it's people that have a history of, having miscellaneous body ailments through the year. And like Rhonda just said, if you pull a couple key ingredients, they'll look familiar to you. And then you'll start to learn words. And let me give you an example. If I'm speaking with somebody that is not in health and wellness, and they go a million miles an hour, I had learned from watching a couple videos that immune support can help with overall wellness. I reach out to this person that I know, and I can literally say, I would love to offer you the opportunity to add this layer to what you're doing. I don't know, if you'll love it or you won't love it. Here's what I do know, is that we may not see changes. We're taking science that says these are the different ingredients that also can play a part in overall health and wellness. And so I just think everybody should have it. And it's just kind of a no-brainer. Now, if they come back to you and they say, well, I'm taking these meds or I'm under this doctor's care, this is where it's super important to go back and say, I can't answer that. Go back to your physician, go back to your practitioner. Because you know what? We're such abundant thinkers in our team, in our company, that I'm not trying to sell anybody anything. I'm trying to make a connection.
Right.
I want it. These are the people that come to mind. Okay. And Rhonda, was there anything on that before we move on that you're thinking?
To piggyback on what you're saying, I've had people be concerned about the ingredients and, will it interfere with my medication, or, will it affect this particular condition that I have going on? And I don't hesitate to take a picture of the back of the bottle where the ingredients are, message it to them, text it to them, whatever, and say, here's the ingredients. Take it to your doctor, see what they say about it. If they give you the green light, then let's make a plan. But yeah, like Aimée says, is that never say, oh yeah, I'm sure this will be fine, because if it isn't, you've just made a claim that you can't support and you can kind of get yourself in trouble. So there's nothing, we're not forcing anyone to buy anything. So there's no harm in sharing those ingredients and say, get your doctor's blessing and come back and talk to me.
Exactly. And as we move into the idea of, okay, you've made the decision, you've purchased the product. You're starting to notice people around you, just like any of the products, because you're thinking, well, gosh, if I need this, everybody needs this. You're having conversations where you're sending out, messages, and you're sharing information. You're inviting them to learn more. You're inviting them to go deeper. You can be using your Engage app to do that. You can be just texting. You could be messaging people. In the process, the key is to keep talking about it really in social media. I'm trying something new. And here's where I would caution you. You will not catch me if you just put a bunch of ingredients out there. You won't. If you post about a bunch of ingredients, I'm going to scroll right past you. Mm-hmm. If you take the time to think about what it feels like to be really healthy, really well, what do you get to do in life? How do you get to focus? Who are those important people, right? Those are the things you post about, because that's what creates the emotional connection that's authentic, that gives people an opportunity to say, oh, why would I want to try this product, whichever one it is? Because you're talking about it and it's creating a connection in someone's head where they're saying, oh yeah, I want higher energy, or I want to have, a little bit more assurance. I want a powerful immune support product. And who isn't looking for that? So that's what steps us up and takes us to a new level in Plexus, because we're not just saying this shit sits on a shelf, come buy my stuff. It's the newest thing I'm throwing at you. No. We don't do that in Plexus. Now, when you're brand new, we don't know any better. But we as a team, we slowly, we practice more, we make more mistakes, we get better and better and better. And then we get to a point where Rhonda can look at this and go, there's a keyword. Yeah, this looks good for me. And I know 6 people right now, and I'm gonna reach out. The process of going from to come with me is fast. But in the beginning, it doesn't necessarily mean it is. Okay? So you're the student, and you're living it out loud. You're even posting that it comes in. You're even showing people what it looks like. And people will have to have 6, 7, 8 times before they will ever be interested, because their timing is different than your timing. So please, from the bottom of my heart, look at Rhonda. Rhonda was part of our incredible team in the very beginning. She was part of our wave 1. Rhonda's life changed. Things were different for her. She decided this wasn't what she needed in her life. And then her life changed and she came back. You will post and people will ignore you. You will call and people will ignore you. It's okay. What is not going to bring them back into you knowing that this is a phenomenal product, you throwing a bunch of words out there like powerful antioxidant and adaptogenic and all those words, that's not what's going to bring them back. What's going to bring them back is you living authentically and saying, my energy's up. Okay? So taking that to the crunchier, holistic person that sits in that world. Okay? So that's me. I've been in this world for a long time, almost 2 decades. And I will look at this product differently than people in your circle that are newer to their health journey. Okay, so always remember to speak to where the person is. And maybe that means that you just tell them a couple key things. You don't have to spit the whole thing at them. They're new to a health journey, okay? But someone that comes along like me, you can actually say, I was talking to Aimée, and she was pointing out that she no longer has to buy 3 different products because she can get all those in one. Now for me, I'm all about efficiency, product efficiency. Less is better for me. I'm also about finances. If I don't have to buy 3, I don't have to buy 3. And because we're part of this incredible company and we're getting our products at cost and a commission back, then why wouldn't we want to buy from us? Now, that doesn't mean we only take what we sell because we sell it, but that's what you want to think about, okay? So to wrap up a couple things and to move into our last point, how do we then, let me double check my notes. I told Rhonda I was going to stay on my notes. Okay, Rhonda mentioned something super important. She said that sometimes she'll look at ingredients and she won't even know what it is. So maybe you poke around a little bit. What else do? You poke around on the website. What else do? Maybe go down a rabbit hole and go learn something?
Oh yeah, there's so many articles on, you can go anywhere online and find anything you want to find out about anything. So, but you got to filter it too. So yeah, I think it's all about education. If I don't know what it is, I got to find out what it is because I'm putting it in my body and somebody's going to ask me. And the worst thing you want to do is say, oh, I don't know, I just take it because they said it was good for me.
Okay, but wait, I said that at the
Which
beginning.
I've been known to do.
I said that at the beginning. I often say that. I'll say, this looks great for me. I've heard of these ingredients. I've spent a little time looking them up. I have several of them in my drawer right now. I'm not 100% if you're going to love it. I know I'm going to try it. I'd love for you to do it with me. That's the nice version. That's the high tech version of, I don't know. So we've been the student, right? And we're going to keep being the student because we don't know. And we're going to keep trying. We try new things because we're curious and we know that layers are important. We're going to be the teacher. We're going to be out there talking about the new product, teaching people, talking. As we learn new things, we share new things. As we learn from each other, we share about each other. You've seen me do this rhythm. And lastly, we become that person that's more that mentor, where we're teaching our team and the people we get to be part of their lives. We start teaching them how to teach the same, okay? That last thing I want to point out is that Rhonda asked me a question. Actually, Zona asked me, do I even need to take this? And then Rhonda and I were talking about, well, how often do you take it? And then when do you take it?
Yeah.
Is there anything else along that?
I think, most importantly is, well, yeah, why should I take it? How much do I take? And when do I take it? I think are the three key, you can follow the directions on the bottle, but do you take it in the morning? Do you take it at night? Do you take it a couple times a day? When is it best to take it?
Okay. So if you go back to any product that you're looking at, there's always manufacturer suggestions, right? And that's what you need to stick to. When you look at the product and it tells you take 2 capsules, but you could also take 2 a second time a day, this is where you look for things in you. How does it feel? Does it increase energy? Does it decrease energy? Any of the different products will react a little bit different in your body. There's a baseline for all products because this is what we expect based on, working with those ingredients and then tons of research about individual ingredients that's all out there in the published world. What I would say is this product, Immune Plus, this is, what was the word you used, Rhonda?
Complementary.
It's complementary. And what does complementary mean?
Well, it means it supports other products that you're taking. So, what are a couple of products that are the core of our overall well-being would be our triplex, right? So this product, Immune Plus, supports what we're doing with the triplex.
Exactly. So we will meet people that will one-off make a purchase. They just want the one product, whether it's this one or another one. Sometimes that's a gateway opportunity, right? We can share the different products that are out there, whether it's for children or skin or, the collagen or the omegas. Those are some core products for skin. Those are also some complementary products for the bigger picture. So I'm going to be doing another video with Iris next week. And I'm going to take 2 typical client prospects. I'm going to walk through how to select which products would be best for them. But in this conversation with Rhonda said, yeah, those are complementary. So that means that some people, it's a one-off purchase. Other people, this is a layer. And I have found that some people are telling me I take 2 every day. I take 2 every morning. Other people are telling me I take 2 every night. And then sometimes I know for me, I'm getting ready to travel. I'm taking 2 in the morning, I'm taking 2 in the afternoon. Because when I look at that ingredient or that suggested how to take it, that's what it says to do. So here's where I would say, don't take that as we don't know the answer. Take that as there's flexibility. Start off with what works best for you. If you know you're utilizing our intermittent fasting, if you know you're following XYZ type of diet, then that's individual. And it's 100% okay to say, I take mine in the middle of the day because that's what works best for you. The key is to get it in you and be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but it's a complement. That's not to say that it won't work without using the other products, but they're interlocked and they are those building blocks that create greater wellness. And it's just something that we do. The question was raised to me not that long ago, do I need this? And here's what I would say. I love taking it because to me, it's offering my body the opportunity to bridge some gaps that I probably have. There's a lot of stress going on. There's a lot of things going in my life right now. There's a lot of, children and learning, and there's just a lot, right? We all have a lot. So if I can do something that's giving my body the opportunity to have a little more immune support, then I'm all in. Mm-hmm. And then if that should change and there's some flexibility, it's 100% okay to work with that. I always stay with core products, and then I add in those layers, and then it just works for me. Now I know people, Rhonda will totally back me up. They'll say, this is what I take and that's it. And if I'm going to add the new thing, it's going to be forever. Okay. It's okay. Right? Yeah, that's you. You're like, this is my system. This is how I create momentum. This is how I create change. And if I deviate from the system, I won't do the system. That's okay. I am a person that's like, oh yeah, and it's part of my daily, and then, oh, okay, now I'm going to try this. It's okay. But I would say, give yourself a solid 90 days. Mm-hmm. Give yourself a solid 90 days with any new product. That in my head, that is the due diligence of you being the student, you being the teacher, and also you being able to really be able to mentor somebody. Okay? So Rhonda, was there anything else that you were kind of thinking about that you came to the table with today before we end our time?
Yeah, I agree with Aimée though, that it's really important to give it 90 days, because this is one of those things that you're not going to see immediate changes with. You're not going to know for sure if it's working, right? If you're somebody like me, I never get sick. So, but I don't see the harm in supporting my immune system by doing something extra, right? It's like that, it's like having a warranty on your car, right? So I'm giving myself a warranty on my health by adding immune support into my daily regimen. So, and that's, I think we would encourage anybody that starts any Plexus product to give it 90 days before they make a decision on whether it's working or it's not working. And then just encourage people to pay attention to how they feel, pay attention to, changes like Aimée said, in energy, in sleep, in allergies, whatever it is, just pay attention to how are you feeling and how's your body reacting, know?
Yes. Well, and Rhonda, this is not to replace food, right? It's not to replace sleep. It's not to replace diet. Right. It's not to replace. And here's where the field of nutrition, we have beautiful research that will tell you, right? These things are not in your diet. They will produce XYZ, right? From rickets to, right? You know where I'm going. There's so much information. In this day and age, this is a product, this is a complementary product that you may not see change. And your yardstick may need to be the overall faith that this is what I know I want to add as a layer. And for me, I was already taking 3 different things that now this one thing met. So that's where I would just say, for me, complementary products are just, sometimes we know that that's what's out there in the world, and I may not have a yardstick to say, this is great, this is not. There's just some things. For me, there's like foods. When the kids were little, I would say, well, you just need to eat your broccoli. Well, I couldn't exactly give them a yardstick and say, your foot's going to fall off if you don't eat your broccoli. This is one of those products for me that's a complementary layer. Yep. I just know from reading the information back in the toolbox, seeing it launch, looking into it myself, and ding, 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 I want to be a student of this product. I'm also in sales of supplements. And so while I'm a student, I'm also going to start teaching on it. This is my personal experience. I am a sample of one. All of you are the additional samples, and not every product is for every person. I've done a video on that. Well, where I would leave you is give it 90 days. Okay, see what you think. And if you love it, keep taking it. And if you want to play around with other complementary products and let them weave in and out, great. I believe that core products are meant to just be core, and there's other layers that give you other additional layers. And really that's you getting really good at saying, I'm Rhonda, I got a lot going on. I got a bunch of irons in the fire. I'm a mama, I'm a wife, I'm running a big business. I'm also working a full-time big job. This is a layer that I need. And we put that decision back in your lap.
My superhero cape.
Yes, it is. It's like that superhero cape. So with that being said, if there's other questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And if you're catching this video, I am going to put another video that's going to be with Iris. And so you can look for the name Iris once that pops up. And this video is with myself, Aimée Darling, and with Rhonda Etnire. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one. Bye, Rhonda. See you.